police officers combed through the Northeast New Territories landfill for choice arms and other body parts that are still missing. Security footage showed a suspect dumping bags, which police believe could contain important evidence. Rubbish collectors said the bags were taken to the landfill in Ta Kwu Ling.
On February 21, 2023, Hong Kong's fashion world was shaken when 28-year-old model Abby Choi suddenly vanished. Just days earlier, she had been walking runways, appearing in glossy spreads for Vogue and Harper's Bazaar, her career skyrocketing and her personal life dazzling. But that afternoon she was supposed to pick up her young daughter, and she never showed. Her husband, Chris Tam, grew worried when he couldn't reach her, and within hours Abby was reported missing. At first it looked like a strange but ordinary missing person case. Friends and family couldn't imagine Abby running off. She was deeply devoted to her children, and she lived a life where everything was public, from magazine covers to glamorous trips. But investigators quickly found something unsettling. Abby's last movements put her inside a car driven by Anthony Kwong Kong Kit, her former brother-in-law, who had once worked as her personal driver. Along the route, the car stopped, and Alex Kwong Kong Chi, Abby's ex-husband, got in. From that moment, Abby was never seen alive again. When police questioned Alex and Anthony, their stories didn't add up. Their answers were vague, inconsistent, and defensive, raising even more red flags. So investigators pushed further, tracing their movements to a small rented apartment in a quiet district of Tai Po. At first, police thought maybe Abby was being held there, possibly for ransom. But what they discovered inside that apartment was far worse than anyone could have imagined. When police finally pushed open the door to the small flat in Tai Po, they knew something was wrong the second they stepped inside. The air was thick, heavy, with a faint metallic sting that hinted at blood. What they found inside wasn't just a crime scene, it was a nightmare. Parts of Abby Choi's body were discovered in the refrigerator and soup pots, her remains gruesomely dismembered and hidden away, as if her killers had tried to erase her existence piece by piece. The officer stopped cold, stunned at the level of brutality. This wasn't a moment of rage or an accident, it was calculated. Every corner of that apartment told the same story. Abby's death had been carefully planned. And for the police, this wasn't just about solving a crime anymore. It was about uncovering how far hatred and greed could push a family. As investigators dug deeper, the picture became clearer and darker. Abby had been supporting her ex-husband, Alex Kwong, and his family financially for years, even after their divorce. But when Abby started making plans to sell a luxury property, one she had generously registered under her former father-in-law's name, the Kwongs felt threatened. To them, it wasn't just a house. It was a symbol of control, and they feared losing it would mean losing their comfortable lifestyle. Police quickly realized that greed was at the very heart of the murder. This wasn't random violence or a crime of passion. It was premeditated, driven by money and the resentment of a family unwilling to let go of the woman who had once been their lifeline. As suspicion closed in, the Kwong family's carefully spun lies started to crumble. Police first arrested Alex Kwong, Abby's ex-husband, along with his brother Anthony and their father, Kwong Kao. Soon after, Jenny Lee, their mother, was also taken into custody. Each of them was tied to the grisly plot in some way. From luring Abby to the house where she was attacked to covering up the crime and attempting to erase every trace of her. The arrest sent shockwaves through Hong Kong, not only because of the brutality of the murder, but also because Abby had continued to support these very people financially up until her death. The betrayal cut deep, and the community was left stunned that an entire family could turn on the woman who had once been their provider. Inside the tiny apartment in Tai Po, investigators were confronted with a scene that felt like a nightmare. Plastic sheeting covered every surface, as if the perpetrators had anticipated the horror their actions would create. Electric saws, a meat grinder, a hammer, and protective gear lay scattered around, tools of an unimaginable crime. Abby's handbag sat abandoned, a chilling reminder of the vibrant woman who had once carried it. Then came the discovery that would cement the Kwong family's guilt. In the fridge, human legs were stacked on the shelves. Pots contained what appeared to be soup, but were filled with human ribs and even a skull, the back of it showing a hole, likely from a hammer blow. Investigators pieced together the sequence. Abby was killed, dismembered, and her body parts meticulously organised for disposal. The apartment was no ordinary crime scene. It was a meticulously planned abattoir designed to minimise evidence and allow the perpetrators to escape. The scale of the violence and the cold precision with which it was carried out shocked the officers. Every detail, from the protective gear to the careful arrangement of body parts, spoke to a horrifyingly calculated plan. After the grim discoveries in Taipo, the hunt for Alex Kwong intensified. Authorities knew he was the linchpin, the one who could tie the entire operation together. But Alex had vanished. It wasn't just a disappearance, it was a high-stakes escape plan straight out of a movie. Alex had retreated to another luxury flat, rented in the name of his mistress, Young Young. From there, he planned to flee Hong Kong by speedboat, armed with $60,000 in cash and luxury watches worth over $500,000. Surveillance and intelligence teams scrambled, knowing that catching him before he vanished into the water would be crucial. Meanwhile, Anthony Kwong and the rest of the family were under arrest, each piece of the puzzle slowly revealing the brutal reality of Abby's murder. Investigators traced the movements of the family in the days following Abby's disappearance. Anthony had driven the car, likely assisted in transporting her body, while Kwong Kao, her ex-father-in-law, appeared to have orchestrated the entire plot. As police combed through the small apartment and surrounding areas, Abby's story unfolded in horrifying clarity. 7 people had been implicated in the planning, execution, and attempted cover-up of her murder. The search even extended to the Trenkano Chinese Permanent Cemetery, where divers and drones scoured pools and terrain for additional remains. Each discovery painted a picture of premeditated cruelty, calculated to hide the evidence of their crimes and facilitate Alex's escape. Eventually, authorities intercepted Alex just as he was about to board the speedboat. The arrest was cinematic, like in a movie scene, but terrifyingly real. With his assets and escape plan in hand, he could have vanished into the night, leaving Abby's family and authorities grappling with the horror he had left behind.
There was a heart-wrenching moment when the model's mother cried that she would never see her daughter again. Choi's relatives had earlier visited the Fushan Public Mortuary to identify her.